Now that you have groups set up, let's actually see how it looks once they're set up. So I'm going to navigate to a course where I have instructor rights. I'm going to turn editing on, and you'll notice that there are, right here, this is test form is what we're going to end up using. And you'll see right here, the second to last, it says right now there's no groups, meaning that nothing is separated into individual groups. So if I actually bring up a student course here, I'm logged in as a student here, and if I click on the test forum, have the ability, I'm logged in as Alyssa right now, and I have the ability to see other groups posts. So for example, Lynn right here is actually in another group, but you wouldn't know it right now because I don't have that function turned on. So I'm going to go back to the course where I'm an instructor, and I'm going to go back to the actual part where I can adjust the groupings and who sees what. I go to my test forum, and you'll hover my mouse over the second last icon. Right now it says no groups. If I click on that, it's actually going to change, and it says separate groups. If I log in again as a student right here, I'm in here as a student, and if I refresh the page and I access the group, you'll notice now that Lynn's post is actually gone. That's because Alyssa is in block 1 and Lynn is in block 2. So right now, as I set up earlier, this is set up for separate groups. Let me go back to my course where I'm instructor. Right now I'm set up as separate groups, meaning that the two groups are completely separate of each other. Even though they're both in the same activity, one group can see one group's stuff and one group can see another. Now if I'd like to change that a little bit more, I can click on this icon again, and now it says visible groups. What this means is that each group will be able to see only their posts, but they can also look at the entire posts of all of the groups. So I'm going to go back in as a student. I'm going to refresh the page so it gets the new settings. And now when I click on test forum, you'll see right here, I see Lynn's and I see my own or Alyssa's. I can click right up here at the top and go, I only want to see block one's posts, and only block one's members posts show up. If I want to see block two, only block two's posts show up. And then finally, if I want to see all participants, I can see all of the posts from all of the groups. So this is a nice way that you can segment your classes into separate groups, meaning that they can see and hide different content in particular resources and activities. So not only can you do it in forums, but you can do groups in chats, you can do groups in choices, you can do groups in databases, quizzes, and all that type of stuff. But you notice when I have just a link to a resource, like say for example I have a link to this Word document, notice that the icon that is right here in quizzes where I have the ability to set up groups is missing from where I just have set up resources. So where I have a link to a web page, there is no ability for me to set up groups on a resource. Resources are available to anyone who's in the course. It's the activities where you can separate people into individual groups and hide and show content based upon what groups they're in and what settings you currently have in your groupings.